and also the 2000s, but I also like the animated series, and I feel like I eventually want to like rewatch all of it because I haven't seen it since it was on the WB.
Well, just let me know. I'll let you borrow them, like I usually do on
Hooray.
like your content library. So just let me know. I'll just let you borrow it.
Hmm.
You can watch it at your leisure, unless you have Amazon Prime or HBO Max or whatever else. Hi, everybody in the chat. This is Toy Talk Live. We're here with our special guest, Jason Packard, and our host, Terry Ruin. And I'm David Allen.
So, how are you two gentlemen today?
I'm doing pretty all right, I guess.
Wonderful. It's a great day. I'm very happy to be alive. Some friends from Massachusetts just visited me for a week and they just took off yesterday. So I got to see my friends for, I don't see them very often because I moved to Florida, but they got to stay with me for a week. Went to Epic Universe at Universal, the new park, specifically for the Mario World and Donkey Kong World, of course. It was like nothing I've ever seen before. And I also got to see the new Harry Potter world from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That's another one they included in there. And there's also a Dark Universe, which was like I want to say 1920s and 1930s Hollywood horror films was the theme of it. But
Universal Monsters. It is Universal Studios, of course.
yes,
I
but
wish
great
they would have done
time.
something with that whole dark universe thing, with the movies being connected and reinvented and whatnot. But the Mummy just flopped so bad.
Yeah, yeah.
They, I think they've continued with it because there was another Frankenstein that just came out this year. There's another Wolfman coming out very shortly. So they've done other versions of those movies by Universal. I don't know if they're part of that concerted effort, but they have
No, they're
continued
not.
doing movies. No, they're not.
So
Okay.
the Wolfman that came out was a standalone thing. Didn't really line up, in my opinion, to the original or the Benicio del Toro Wolfman, which is fantastic.
Hmm.
Um, it was an okay one time watch. If
It
I'd
was
spent money on it, I would
gritty.
have been disappointed. Um,
It was very gritty, very, very bloody and very gritty.
yeah, it was almost like gore for the sake of gore, I guess.
I
Hmm.
think.
And then
There
you
is
have
a Frankenstein one coming out, I think, right
It already
now
came
from
out.
him.
It
yeah,
already
that's
came out.
that is on Netflix. That's Guillermo del Toro.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
And he wants to do, I think, the Phantom of the Opera, or somebody does. I'm not sure if that's his next
I
Hmm.
project or what.
don't like what I've seen in screenshots. I won't watch it. I don't have Netflix, so I'll probably never get to see it. But yeah, it doesn't look right to me. But
Hmm.
whatever. I
Hmm.
mean, a lot of people seem to like it.
Hmm.
I think it's similar to the I Frankenstein graphic novel by that illustrator from the 80s. I'm trying to think of his name, but he's very famous for Frankenstein, I Frankenstein, because there was a bunch of graphic novels in that universe. And I'm not sure if the Del Toro one is connected to that or not.
So there
It
was
looks
actually an I Frankenstein film back in 2014, which wasn't bad. I watched it. It was a pretty good movie.
yeah.
Um, let me see who the graphic novel was done by.
I can't think of his name, but I met him and I got his autograph on that graphic novel at Dragon Con one year. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. But
Kevin
I can't.
Griveau,
No,
written and created by I Frankenstein, written and created by Kevin Griveau. Griveau,
review.
IOUX.
The
Um,
French name.
I don't
And
recognize that the way that you're pronouncing it. Maybe I would know it if I read it.
Griveau, perhaps.
and art by Mario Guevara.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But he's a very famous illustrator and stuff. He's done a lot of movies type things in the past. This guy, and
Never heard of her.
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, they've been doing a lot of interesting things. Dracula stuff, Frankenstein, Wolfman, all the creature movie that Del Toro did was fantastic.
Now, the one I'm interested in is coming out by Robert Eggers, the werewolf movie.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I was talking about. That's coming out. The previous one I was kind of on its own. It's not connected, but I thought that one that's coming out soon was connected, but I could be wrong.
None of them are connected to the Dark Universe stuff.
Okay.
Robert Eggers may be making something of his own that's connected, but he just actually has several really good movies out. We went to see Nosferatu in theater, and it was excellent. It really,
It was great.
yeah, it really shined a light on the original. It mirrored some of the scenes, but had a much more modern, better take on them. It looked fantastic.
Did you get the Super 7 O-Ring Reaction Plus Universal Monster?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, great. Did you get doubles of that?
Nope.
Oh.
Just bought singles for myself. I collect Universal Monster stuff just for myself, not to like resell or anything.
Oh, okay. I'll just have to find them after the market because they sold out on their website. I did not get them, but I've heard very good things about them, so now I want to get them.
They look good. Yeah, they really do look good. I hope that they make more of them that aren't just the exact same figures that are repainted.
Well, there's a lot of Universal monsters. There's different versions of the creature, different versions of Frankenstein, different versions of Dracula and Wolfman. So they could do other things. Like there's also the Invincible Man, the Phantom of the Opera, the
Right, the Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera, the Bride of Frankenstein as well. That would be a good one.
So there's a lot they could do.
I like them enough to the point where I'm thinking about getting them girded.
Oh,
yes.
Speaking of
girded, also guarded. I like to get them guarded.
Speaking of girded, here's our girded expert. Jason Packard is a very well-known grading expert, and he does a lot of stuff through AFA and CGS and all this stuff. Right, Jason?
Yeah.
An
CAS. CAS. Yeah.
CAS. I can never get those things correct because there's so many of them.
So yeah, we can take a look at some of these. I can swap my camera angle to go to
some graded stuff.
that camera. All right. So when it comes to grading, predominantly it's going to be through AFA. Here's a couple. You got got the Mud Fighter, got a Hiss 2. That's an 80. That's an 85. Here's a Condor. The Condor I actually got. It was on consignment at Collectible Investment Brokerage in Atlanta when we went to Joe Lanta. I think it was 2019 that we went. So that was quite a while ago we got that. Crazy to think of it. And then, of course, we have a wonderful Crusader right there that's also an 85. Some things are loose graded, uncirculated. For example, there's that payload that I had. So I have several payloads in the bag. I had one of them graded as loose.
And AFA no longer grades loose figures, correct?
That is right. AFA will not grade any loose figure. The closest you can get to an AFA graded loose figure would be if it's still in the bag, which is as close as you can get. So, for example, this is a Ninja Viper with light gray swords. I also had one with the dark gray swords done at the exact same time. And those get a green label.
Jason, can you explain the differences between the different grading levels for the folks out there, for people that might be interested in grading?
Oh, sure. So a loose grade is like that. Or like, for example, this Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. So that's graded as loose, either circulated or uncirculated.
Now, does that have the original O-ring?
It does. Yes. It will. They will note if it's not the original O-ring. If you have a figure graded as loose and doesn't have the original O-ring, they will put down replacement O-ring. They are willing to do it. That's one thing that was a huge debacle quite a few years ago, was how, oh my God, they're not accepting anything. It's like, no, they are, but there's just a qualifier that says replacement O-ring. That's all there is to it. But so that's basically graded sealed bag or graded as loose, like I just showed. Here's another example. We got these rampages, heavy metal rampages. right? That got a 90 actually. I'm very fond of that one. Um, Very pretty. I got both of them back. One of them has the Brazil manufacturer sticker on it. So, anyways,
I find that a
and then
lot
of
of the
course
Brazil figures are much more vibrant in color than what the
they definitely are. Yep, absolutely. So that's another thing I was going to talk about. I was going to kind of gravitate in this direction. So I don't really have hardly any foreign figures, but there are a couple of exceptions. For example, there's the South American Spirit right there, which is wonderful in
Yeah,
comparison to
much more
that one
vibrant.
right there.
Much more
Can I get? Oh
vibrant.
yeah, yeah, much better. So that's an example of an North American Spirit. So the light's getting in the way. North American Spirit, and then right over there you have the Estrella Spirit. It's way better looking. And then the Storm Shadow, the same thing with the Storm Shadow. So the Brazilian Storm Shadow. Not only does the plastic look a little bit brighter, but also it's much less fade. It's much more fade resistant, is what I'm trying to say.
Can you explain
So,
why that one is whiter than the average North American
yes,
storm shadow?
production standards. So in England and South America, just to give you an example here, they didn't use anywhere near as much boride as we did, or boron actually. So because there's less boron in it, they would be much more likely to burst into flame and burn your house down. And in North America, they were made as such that they would not do that and burn your house down.
now were
So
they
I would
spontaneously
personally,
combusting or something else?
what's that?
Were figures just spontaneously combusting and burning down houses? Or?
Well, no, it's just that if the house catches on fire, the toys would be more resistant to also catching on fire. They would just melt and turn into a puddle of, brown scorched goo, as opposed to if they don't have any boron in it, they would like combust and actually burn for a good long time,
So, and
thus
that
adding
chemical
to
is
the
actually
hazard.
what contributes to yellowing when
Right.
exposed to
Right,
UV light or heat or.
right, right. It makes them worse technically in a way. I wouldn't say it makes them more or less brittle. They're really pretty much the same, but the light whites and the light blues, the teals, like the Ninja Vipers, for example, they would definitely get worse. This is another example of a graded figure. This is graded quite a while ago. This is an AFA loose. Whoops, go this way. An AFA loose Gold Steel Brigade. And a little bit about them grading, it's kind of hard to see it, but because I'm trying to get the camera angle right, but they would tape some of the accessories right in there. So they weren't really set up to grade as loose. They could do it, but it was more basic. Now, CAS, by comparison, as I showed you earlier, they have things that will hold, like even things like the pistol, for example. As you can see, they have a specially made cut piece just for Cobra Commander's Venom pistol, you know?
And man, I really
So
do like CAS's displays like that. That's a beautiful display.
Is that
lovely,
a
yes.
Mickey Mouse? Is that a Mickey Mouse Coco
It
or a regular?
is. It
Oh, so it is.
is.
Can you explain the reason why that is called Mickey Mouse Coco?
Well, the reason why it's called Mickey Mouse is because the original early Cobra logo wasn't easy to print or tampo onto a figure. So the very top of the Cobra sigil, if you kind of zoom in on it, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like the Mickey Mouse logo. It looks like it because they didn't
So,
actually have the fangs printed properly.
so
They didn't have the head printed properly.
where did that figure predominantly come through?
Hasbro Direct. It was mail order only. First wave, 1982. I want to say they started shipping them around maybe it was March or April, and by I want to say maybe June or July, somewhere in that area, they stopped. And I even have one from the same batch. This one came from a collector who was born, I believe it was 70. It was 72 or 73, and his grandparents bought him every single GI Joe of 82, just 82 and nothing else. And also two of the Cobra Commanders because he was the only mail order available in that year. Let me see if I think I might even have the other one. It might be hard to find, but another one of them was a paint error and it did not have the sigil on there at all. So it's kind of like a Mickey Mouse or a regular one straight arm, but without the logo. But I guess I could kind of go through a couple of these things here. Start over here. So I keep all the 82s on this shelf right here. So I
So
put everything on there.
are those completely all straight arms?
Yes. Well, no, actually, this is just 82. 82's either straight arm or non-straight arm.
All right.
But I think I have everything. I have for example, there's a Zap who's
Hey,
straight
you got his
arm, and then I think I
thumbs.
have a Zap who's.
You got his thumbs. That's great.
Yeah, it took a long time. I have it. There's a
And
double-handled
you got the
bazooka.
double-handed bazooka. Good job.
Yeah, and then there's a Hawk. Oh, sorry, I'm facing the wrong way, but there's Hawk, but from the
MMS.
yeah collection of Robert Prue. It's a Flash,
So
so on
these
and
are all
so
the
forth.
82 figures that collector had, correct?
Most of it, yeah. Some of it's mine, but some of it's his. I think the rock and roll, one of the Steelers, one of the short fuses, I think he had both grunts, so I actually have two grunts. Yeah, like that. Snake Eyes.
How's
One
your
of the Snake Eyes was his.
How's your Scarlet back there? Is that got a crotch on it?
Yeah, yep. All that they both do. One's a
It looks
straight
like
arm,
one
one's a
of
swivel
those
arm.
is Brazil or Argentina.
Believe it or not, no, they're both OGs. I'm North American. One's just a little bit brighter paint that day. I'm guessing it's either maybe the first wave in 82 had a little bit brighter, or they just didn't calibrate the machine and they just had a whole couple batches painted a little bit brighter. And then the 83 is a little bit more subdued. And then it's kind of all over the place. But then if you go over here, I keep all my so this is Sunbow season one. So you're predominantly going to be 1984 and 1985 in there. Like Shipwreck, Flint, Alpine, Airtight on the top, and then of course I got
What, like
Doc,
what,
CoverGirl.
See
83
that?
to 85?
80, 84 and 85. Some are 83 though.
I see that
A
really
few.
nice looking Spirit there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know, right?
Duke and that Doc are technically 83, right? Duke
Yeah,
and Doc.
that's a tripwire. Listening
The
fun.
listening fun. I
Yep,
like how you
Rocky
have that
Balboa.
Rambo. How come you got a Rambo? Where did you get that from? Is that from Matt LaCroix?
That is Rocky Balboa, played by Sylvester Stallone, a GI Joe. Yep.
Yeah, but where did you get it from?
Oh, it was part of the regular assortment. It was mail order that year. And
No,
then
it
over
was
here we
not.
have ketchup
There
and
was no
mustard right
Rocky
there.
Balboa mail order. You're full of crap. There was
Ketchup and
no
mustard right
Rocky
there.
Balboa.
I think that
You
was
put
a
all
Lone Wolf Toys figure.
Oh, okay.
put all the blue shirts in a row. So you got your Viper. Oh, Viper Pilot I have on the other side too. And then of course I have Cobra, also Sunbow season one. So you have the let me see, we got Major Blood, His Driver, blah blah blah, Tomax and Zaymot wearing outfits.
I like
The
that shiny
Cobra
Cobra
Diver.
Commander. Where did you get that shiny Cobra Commander there? What did someone do that for you?
What's shiny Cobra
The
Commander?
one straight ahead right in front of you.
That one? That's Cobra Commander, straight arm, regular logo.
Because it looks shinier to me. I don't know.
Well, it looks shinier because the light's hitting it.
Ah,
I'm working
oh,
with the light that I have. Actually, let me open a window. Hold on a second.
I
I'm gonna
like
open a
that
window
diver.
here.
You had somebody make that diver too from the Mass Device miniseries?
No, that was a mail order. If you bought the Mass Device VHS, there was an offer on that, and you could order yourself a Cobra Diver through that. And then
What?
we got the
That's
two
full of,
different copperheads right over
you're
here.
so full of crap. There's
We
no
got.
I love
way.
how you're so confidently full of shit.
I know.
I love
Do you
it.
have both of the hands on that? You got the two hands on that copperhead
Yes,
there? Oh, good.
yes, I do.
Oh, good.
I
Now
do.
go to
Got
the
Wild
front of this.
Weasel,
Go to the front of
Stinger
that display.
Driver.
Go to the front.
And then you got Shipwreck and Snake Eyes in disguise from Revenge of Cobra, right?
Yeah,
That
but
was
go
cool
down
too.
below. Go below to the front. There you go.
To the
Those are the
front.
best two. Let's go right over there. There's a little bit further that way. There you go. Right there. There's the three best figures in your entire display. Not him.
The Yellow Neck Serpentor.
No, Crimson Guard and Tomax and Zaymot.
Well, I have them up here too.
Well, I didn't see them up there.
Okay, well here they are as well. I have more than one. I have many,
Oh, okay.
but then I get those over here.
I like those
October
Admiral
Guard goes in the
Ledgers.
front.
Those
October
Admiral
Guard
Ledgers
all
are
the way
funny.
through.
Very good.
And then we have Sunbow season 2. So that's all 86 stuff. So
You got the best vehicle in the entire line right there with the best vehicle driver.
exactly. I did it just for that purpose only. And Zorana was kind of like, kind of boinking mainframe, so she gets to go in this cabinet for
You don't
now.
have both versions of Zorana there? Ah, good.
Do you have any Dick figures?
Yes, I do. My Dick figures are in the other room. And if we want to get really sweaty, we can do all that too.
They're all sealed though, right? All sealed packaged versions,
No,
graded as well.
nope, both,
Oh,
all of
both.
it.
Oh, good job.
I keep my original Hiss and my original Mobat. That's from Bob Prue's collection. That's from Terror on the Tundra. I probably got it for Christmas in 1992. And of course, all my drumsticks. So for display, though, this is a great way. So these IKEA Detolf. Oh, there's the two Morays. Got to pull
Ah,
up the Rattlers right there in
I
the
need that
wall.
Night Force Moray. That's one of the two vehicles I need. I'm glad you're holding it for me.
I am holding it for you. Yes. You see, it's yours, but I'm hanging on to it for you. That's all.
I really appreciate that.
Exactly. But yeah, so for display, it's really, really important to maximize space. What you want to do is you just want to hang it on the wall. And yes, that is a Terradrome hanging on the wall, if you can believe it.
You know, I learned this from you, Jason, so I have a bunch of my jets on the wall as well. I thank you for that.
Hmm. But and then when it comes to large play sets, what I do is typically I like to hang it on the wall, but also hang all the accompaniments for it. So there's the Terradrome image, obviously an uncut file card, all the blueprints. It looks really great right next to it. Looks pretty sharp overall.
I've got to say, you have your collection very curated, very beautifully. I wish I had as much of my collection like yours. I have probably more than you, but it's not as curated as yours is.
Oh, well, thank you. And you can also hang a Defiant on the wall if you're really feeling aggressive. So yeah, you can certainly do that. You can hang a Defiant on the wall, not just the Defiant, but also the gantry.
I really do
That's a
love your Defiant
gantry.
setup. Can you show us that Defiant again?
Yep, absolutely.
So, what did you do with the figures there? Are they graded or are they just in acrylic cases?
Those two are just in cases. So the primary payload and the primary it's hardtop, I think, right? Yeah, hardtop is just in cases to protect them.
I hope we
But
get
the other
that.
ones on there they're just kind of hanging out. I have that one attached by the umbilical cord, standing on top of the door, kind of like what would be in an action sequence. So, of course, you can hang any Mambas, Tomahawks, Stilettos, Phantom Stealths, Night Boomers, Sky
Oh,
Strikers,
there's my other
Dragonflies.
Night Force vehicle that he's got in there, Terry. My second one for my
That's
collection. He's
right.
holding for me. He's got
I'm
like
holding
10
it for
Night
you because it's
Boomers.
yours, but I'm holding on to it for you.
He's got
Right.
like
Right.
10 of
Exactly.
those.
Exactly.
Because I'm running out of
Not 10 of
space.
them.
You
More
got
like
10 Night
5 of them.
Movers.
But yeah, and then we have the Crossfire. I like to put the battery, the replacement parts, and nickel cadmium battery warning right there. Very pretty. Goes with the Crossfire. I have both Crossfires. This one's in better shape than the other.
Can you
So
explain
there's
the
that
difference
one.
between the two different ones? I know it, but maybe our
Absolutely.
viewers would like to know.
Absolutely. So this is the Alpha 27, which means that it runs on 27 hertz frequency. This is so that you could purchase two Crossfires and two kids could use them simultaneously without interrupting the radio signal from the other one's controller. The other one is the Delta 54, which runs off of 54 hertz. Neither one is harder or easier to get than the other. They're both really about equal as far as value is concerned or rarity.
Now, wasn't there something different about the bumpers as well?
No, there was not. The bumpers are identical.
Okay.
And there's a nice unbroken bumper too somewhere. Oh, right here. Keep it right over here. That bumper I did have to repair. I had to pin and weld it. But this one I actually managed to find. I think I got it from a Canadian collector, Kenpo. But a nice, crisp, unbroken one, which very nice looking. I keep that around as an extra. And then we got some Sears exclusives. I turned this one the wrong way just to kind of like change it up a little bit, but got the Sears Hiss right over here. I'm going to spin that around and then put it right back in there the right way. Right in here. So this is the Crimson Attack tank. I also have the Special
Mission
Mission
Brazil.
Brazil set.
Nice.
Very nice. Yeah. We got the Sears Sentry missile system. Very beautiful. I love it. Very beautiful. The Heat Seek. You got Hector Ramirez.
Wow.
Do you remember him from 20 Questions?
Yeah, he was a
HK
really
Piper,
big
you'll have
vintage.
to go back and actually watch this when you get an opportunity to, and you're not driving. Have a safe trip, man. But yeah, Jason's showing us all of his, well, probably not all of, but a large portion of his ARAH, his ARAH collection.
ARAH, indeed.
Hey, who's that guy in the far back that's got that orange shirt?
Oh, that would be.
Action Man.
Yeah, that's Action Man right there. Action Man was the leader of Night Force.
Part of a
And
multi-pack in, what was it, 2004?
6 or
yeah,
7?
2000, yeah, 2005 or 6, I want to say actually.
Yeah.
It was definitely one of the last O-ring figures, but yeah, cool looking.
Do you know why?
It was really
Action
just
Man-
Tracker.
Do you know why Action Man is considered part of GI Joe, Jason?
Nah, it was 2004.
Why is that?
Well, he was the first character that was created by, I believe, now his name came out of my head. For GI Joe, when they created the flocked hair and the kung fu
Oh
grip,
yeah,
they
right,
went to
right.
Palatoy and they made Action Man, and then it went back and they had a subgroup Action Man in the early 90s. But
Action
it was
Joe.
technically owned by GI Joe and Hasbro, but they kind of diverged because two different companies used it, and then eventually it came back to the US, and that's why they included it in that set.
Action Joe, 1975, 6, and 7. They were like an 8-inch figure, more or less. I remember Action Joe. That was cool.
So the series of figures that David is talking about is back in the 1990s, the 12-inch figures from 1993 to 2006.
Oh yeah, I remember those two. Then we got our Tiger Force arrangement right here. That's actually
I
one of the
love
only
that.
foreign figures I have is the Outback.
That's one of
yeah.
the rarest ones too, because you got the cat face, meow, face Outback,
Wait, what is it? A cat face and then what?
meow.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. Thank you. All right, and then we got the rest over here.
What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. We're just
Fun.
looking at toys.
This is having fun. This is toys having fun.
Put the drivers on the top.
No, you don't have any of the other ones from Palatoy?
No,
Oh, all right.
no. I could, but I don't know.
I've seen a bunch of them actually. They're not that expensive.
That was my ferret when I was a kid. Mail
No,
order.
that's the mail away, right? The bright one
It
was the
is.
mail away.
Yep, Brazil.
Man, I'll tell you, I was actually into those 12-inch GI Joe figures in the early 90s, and I used to see Action Man at KB.
Yeah,
Of
he
all
was
wow.
places, that was the only place that I saw any Action Man stuff, and I never got it. I never bought into it because at the time I didn't realize the connection between Action Man and GI Joe, or I probably would have bought it. But yeah, I used to see that stuff at KB all the time. I thought it was cool, but I didn't want it because it wasn't GI Joe.
Yeah.
know.
I did know about it because I did collect GI Joe foreign comics, so I knew about it. So I do have a handful of those figures from the early 90s, maybe a half a dozen or so.
I remember when
David.
Huh?
You need to buy my 12-inch collection.
I wish I had the money.
there were so many properties. There were so many properties in the 90s where they used GI Joe molds. Like one example was what was that futuristic show from, like, I want to say it was or no show but movie series where they trying to I can't believe I can't think of the name of this. I'm dying over here right now.
Stargate,
man. David, you knew it. I love it. Yeah, Stargate. Like, they used so many GI Joe vehicles
yeah.
and stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to get that, but then I'm like, it's not GI Joe.
But a lot of
Log
that stuff
ahead.
is now on the second market is worth a lot of money. If you go and you find all the vamps, there's like 60 vamps. I could be
I
wrong on the
know.
number, but there's a lot of variation of that vamp around the world.
Any questions about grading for our viewers that maybe we should go through? So, oh yeah, so there's graded as loose, like that,
Is it
right?
worth it? That's the big question. Is it worth it? Because there's a lot of debate out there in the groups on Facebook about grading's not worth it. It's pointless, or
I
the
mean, you kind of have to just look objectively. I mean, you have to do your own research in the matter. If you go to eBay or you go to Hakes or LCG auctions, just look. Just type in GI Joe and hit search, and then look at what you see.
So is that specifically if you're in it for the investment value, or what other
I guess. I
benefits?
mean, if you like it, all these things that I'm
Here's
showing here are things that I've collected that I like. I love the asp
what
and the python stun.
what about the provenance of the? Because what you're doing there with grading and putting it behind acrylic and things like that, you're protecting the provenance because you know the history of that item as a piece of art, memorabilia, or pop culture, whatever it is. So that increases the value of an item that is curated the way that you've done. Am I not correct in that?
Well, I mean, the provenance is just that. I mean, it's authentic. It's guaranteed not resealed because they do look at it and inspect it under magnification. But more or less, I think what really gives it value is that it's finite, first of all. So finite means that it becomes determinable what the condition of is it based on someone who has experience in the industry and such and has looked at other packages of similar quality and similar condition, and that it becomes finite in a sense that it's not going to be damaged further. You know what I mean? In other words, it's not going to get banged up or cracked up because it's stable and secure. This Mamba, for example, I actually kept this one because I liked it a little bit more than another one. I had another one with a higher grade. I like the condition of this package more, even though they considered it to be, I guess you could say, slightly lower grade than the other one that I sent in. And then there's this Tomahawk. There's certain things they detract for, and there's certain things that they don't.
Now,
Some
here's a
people think
question
that
for
price
you.
stickers made a difference, but they don't.
Here's a question for you, Jason. Now, you're always trying to improve your collection. I've seen you buy things 3 and 4 times because you have got a better version or a better graded version. Like, say, for instance, the Toxo Lab. You've gotten 3 or 4 versions of that. Is that something
Uh-huh.
you're always on the lookout for, upgrading and bettering your collection in that sense?
If the opportunity's there, sometimes. Not always, though. Sometimes if I can get a grade of an 80, I'm done. I'm not going to go further than that. If I really have to get an 85, sometimes maybe years ago I was more serious about it, but sometimes it doesn't really matter too much,
Is
ultimately
there
speaking.
Is there something that's like a grail that you have not gotten for your collection that you would like to get that has just so far been out of reach for you?
Um, One thing I would like to get is a sealed hammerhead. It has not been out of reach, but the opportunity presented itself a few times and I didn't go for it. And I kind of wish that I had done that maybe 3, 4 years ago.
Now,
So,
Terry, is there something that you've wanted that is like your grail that you would like to get graded similar like this? Because there's one item that I would like to get, and I don't know. It's just too expensive. It just keeps going higher and higher. I'm not going to tell you mine until you tell me yours.
There's nothing in particular that I would like to get graded, but as far as a grail goes, I would like to complete my collection of the GI Joe Adventure Team figures from the it wasn't convention, it was the Collectors Club.
mhm.
Yeah, Collectors Club. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to complete those, and I will as I find them and whatnot.
The
I
thing
don't
that I'm
I don't
really
typically seek anything out.
well, the one
Here's
thing
an
that I
opportunity
use
that I had. Terry, you got me that.
Yes,
Remember
yes, I
him?
did.
I
Yeah, you
did.
got that from me.
He got an 85.
Wow, that's nice for a
Fantastic,
dog.
and it's unpunched.
That is
85 unpunched, 85 Y grade. Yes.
now the one thing that I'm after that is something I avidly look for, and it is very expensive. It's getting higher and higher. Jason and I have kind of perused a couple, and they were just too far out of price range for me. Is that's a mint on card Tomax and Sama package. Um, that is very tough. They're going upwards of 950 now. When I started to look, they were about 650, right, Jason? And now they're
Get the Super 7
950.
set; it's just as good.
What?
Yeah.
No. Well, I have
Yeah.
several
Right.
of
Yeah.
those. I love it, but it's not the same thing. Someone was
Sure
selling
it
just
is.
the box. Somebody was selling just the box the other day on one of those YouTube, those Facebook group things, and I saw it on there, and they wanted like $700 just for the package. I was like, what in the world is
I
this?
don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it a bit.
So yeah,
The
that's my grail. I don't think I'll ever get it,
It's
but I would
actually
love that.
more than that much. If you actually want a set that has a grade on it of like 80 or more, you're actually talking more like $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Tomax and Zaymod are pretty expensive, but again, i- if you're around long enough, sometimes the opportunities arise and you just take them
Exactly.
as they come.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I've
Um,
waited on
I
Night Force.
have I have everything from 1989 to 1994 sealed, almost everything. I kind of tapered off in 94. I don't have all of it. I have some of it, but I have virtually everything of the Deke era sealed and loose, one of each at least. And then 83 to 88, I have everything loose, just about everything loose, and some of it sealed. I don't have very many things sealed from 82, 83, 84.
Well, the problem with 82 to like 87, it's hard to get those all sealed because there's variations on almost every one of those
Right.
cards.
Right.
And
There's a lot of variation to those figures. And the same
different
thing
Yeah.
with the 90s.
promotions.
There's a lot of variance in the 90s figures as well. The 90,
Yeah,
what was it, 1993 to 94.
Oh yeah.
right.
The
That
taller, the 10 by 6 cards.
The variations
93.
are limited. Well, for variations wise, you're looking at flat logo versus raised logo, which is when they transitioned over in 86. So everything from 1985 was flat logo, and then when they transitioned over to the grayback file card, that's when you had the raised logo. But it's also the promotion. So some of them say
Yeah.
swivel arm battle grip, some of them say triple win offer, some of them say battle ribbon, some of them say the fridge Sergeant Slaughter offer. Um, I mean, I want to say there's like 5 or 6 different eels
Isn't
just
there the
because of
paint?
that.
Isn't it that paint one on there as well? Those whatever
Oh
those
yeah,
mini
the
figures. Yep.
combat paint, minifigures, battle ribbons,
Yes, the combat
combat
family.
ring.
Do some of them have the that little surfboard with the thing whatever that was a mail away when the club started in the 80s? Some of the vintage cards have that, but some of them don't.
The surfboard.
It's got like that. It's like, what is the name of that? It was a mail away thing. It was
Jesus
in
Christ. I can't remember the name of what you're talking about, David.
Oh, the
uh,
manta.
the
That's
Manta.
I don't believe the manta was an offer on the front of a carded figure.
No.
I know that they would have an insert in some of the smaller vehicles. There would be a small green insert that you could use to order it, but they usually didn't advertise the manta in such a way.
Oh, okay.
Slaughter, the fridge, triple win. Triple win was actually the first one. That was 1985. The first wave were triple wins. Like you'd
Yeah.
scratch off the thing. Um, then battle ribbons were 87. Um, I know in the 90s it was Universal Studios, Combat Pay. They always had a 50 cent combat pay and with a figure. Yeah,
and what the hell
all
were those
sorts of
good
stuff.
for?
They did
Oh,
that
live the
with
adventure.
a lot of that toy lines did those type of promotions. Like Star Wars did tons of that type of stuff too.
They did. There was like 21 different Obi-Wan Kenobis, not just because of the transition from like Star Wars to Empire to Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
But also because the offers on the front So I think it was Jeff Jacob, the one who recently auctioned off his whole collection and was done with it. He had 21 graded Obi-Wans, and each one of them was distinct from each other.
Wow.
Now we just
Crazy.
have Hasbro Pulse exclusives or con exclusives, and everything's mail away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's because it's not worth it at retail. They're not willing to be aggressive enough, I guess.
There are some variations, though, with classified. There are a few variations. I know you're not into classified, Jason, but there are a few variations, like the vintage card Flint, the ugly card, and then the less ugly card Flint, and then there was the Sergeant Slaughter without his cover, and with his cover, the Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders version. You can get both. And then I think there was something else that was a variant in classified.
There's actually several others.
Yeah, I can't remember all of them.
The Cobra Island Trooper, there's 3 different variations of the Cobra Island Trooper. There's the black collar, the blue collar, and the black collar.
Oh, wow.
Black waist.
The running variants, all the running variants, the beachhead with the 2 eyes, the snake eyes with the dot.
There's 3 beachheads.
Yeah.
There's blue, green, and gray. And then you have a variation of the movie Snake Eyes. One has blue eyes, one I believe has brown eyes. I need to check and see which one I've got so that I can be on the lookout for the one that I don't have. What other variations were there? There's also the Destro variation that has a circle in the mold on top.
Yeah,
of his
right on
head.
the head, right on the center of the head. Yeah, that's a running variant. All those running variants are slightly different. And I believe the Snake Eyes from that has a red dot on the top too,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And his when they corrected the sheath for the knife, they ended up having the knife placed in the sheath on the figure, and it no longer had a place in the vac-formed tray, I believe.
Oh, that's an interesting one. If you can get that mint on inbox. Very interesting. But there's lots of different things like this. Jason, you're an expert on these different iterations and variants and things like that for the vintage line. But I'm sure we would have to go to other members of the community to try and learn about other iterations.
Anything past vintage line and some convention stuff, that's about it.
Now,
well, for this segment of the stream, let's we've got Jason on here. Let's focus on his vintage stuff. Let's see those 90s figures. Let's see those neon 90s.
We want to go all the way over there?
That everybody hates.
Can I give you guys a little bit of a story about Pimp Daddy Destro, how that came to be?
Sure.
Is that something? It's an O-ring. Are you interested in that? Vinny D'Aleva, who I interviewed a while back, he said that they, around the office, they had mocked up a Pimp Daddy Destro like that just for fun and just for larks. It was never intended to be an actual figure. And somehow someone, when they mailed off a sample, a test sample that was sent from China over to go back to them with the corrections that it was supposed to have, they sent the Pimp Daddy Destro by mistake. And so about like 2,000 of those leaked out and got produced. And that was just a big joke mistake, and stuff like that happens, he said.
See, I've heard so many different stories about that, man, about how it never got produced. It wasn't actually in stores. I've heard that it was in Toys R Us and people actually bought them in Toys R Us. And it seems like none of the stories add up.
Well,
everybody has their own version of it.
He's the guy that did it. He's the guy that was the head of the line for the whole 90s. And if he says that, I'm going to go by what he says.
I think it was a pre-production, like kind of more of an oopsie daisy, and a few cases got out. We're talking probably less than 100 figures, and that's the reason why it's a crazy rare.
Like the killer whale with the Deep Six.
That was
here's mine. I have one of those.
That was a different story, though, with the killer whale scenario.
Do you have that story?
Yeah, I do.
That's my Pimp Daddy Destro right there. And I got
Sexy.
the Rampage.
I have it too. It's a cool figure. I wish I could get it mint on card though. I don't have it mint on card. I have all
What?
the other
Pimp Daddy
ones.
Destro or
Yeah.
Deep Six?
No, Destro. If I had a mint on card Deep Six, I'd be auctioning that off at Hakes and getting a boatload of money on it. But that one was a different story. The Deep Six with the killer whale, they wanted a larger that internally the team designed a larger vehicle animal for the figure. It was supposed to be a killer whale, but when they did the line review, and the people, the head guys, always go through and they want to cut costs, and they penny pinch here and there and there. They're like, well, why has he got this big animal? And they were like, well, we thought because he's a water character, we can give an animal with it. And they were like, no, let's cut that out. And instead of making a smaller dolphin size, they decoed it up as a dolphin. And again, that was sent to China, and they produced that in that size, and they were never supposed to. That was another China situation where they sent the wrong one to them, and so that's how that came.
So is that thing solid?
No, it's
Yes.
squishy. It's
Oh
squishy.
yeah, no, it's actually a squirt toy.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
soft squirt toy. You stick the snout into water and you squeeze it, and then the suction draws water in, and then it
Yeah.
shoots the water out, kind of like he's depicted right there, shooting water out of his mouth.
Oh, okay.
So, all right, here we go. The Wall of Deke.
Yay!
The
Hot
wall of
colors.
dick.
I love hot colors.
Hey, what are those things with the yellow boxes there, Mr. Packard?
Oh, those? No,
What
they're
are
they're
those?
weird.
What are those, Jason?
No one likes those. They're silly. No,
What
no
are
one wants them or
those?
needs them. They're probably some common production item that wasn't really that hard to find. Anyways,
Yeah, they seem pretty
but yeah,
common.
yeah,
A lot of
I've seen
people
it. They're
sell them.
all over the place for cheap. It's no big deal. Yeah, but
Only
you
the
got the two
rarest.
jets. You got your Liquidator. You got your Storm Eagle. You got Retaliator. That's actually the highest graded hurricane in the entire world. It is the only one that has ever gotten a grade of 90. It is extremely unlikely another one will ever surface with a grade of 90. So that's the only one and the highest one in the world. That Havoc's very nice too.
That's pristine. Man, is that nice.
The the top shelf. So we got basically all the stuff of Deke season one, starting with Metalhead.
God.
All these guys. Got Sky Patrol in the middle because they're the biggest.
Man, I loved those Sky Patrol figures.
They're beautiful. Huh? Some of them are graded, some of them are not. He's
There's a
ungraded. He's graded. He's graded. He's graded. And then yeah, I don't know why I didn't grade my skydive. I don't know why it was I didn't do it. I think he might have one or two micro creases on it, so I concluded it wasn't really worthwhile. But no big
Can you
deal.
can you explain the deal with these Sky Patrol figures? Because there's a unique, interesting thing about them that I don't think a lot of people understand.
Yes, they're all drivers from 1985, 1986, and 1987, conveniently designed with all brand new head sculpts just for the purpose. For example, he is a Gyro Viper, he is Backstop, he is a Motor Viper, that's a Strato Viper, that's a Crankcase, and that's Tomahawk Lift Ticket. But all conveniently with different head sculpts.
It's amazing
Also,
how
they reused
different paint
Airborne's name
apps
because
do.
Airborne had retired, Franklin Talltree, and then you got Robert Six, who took on the role of Airborne at GI Joe. Pretty neat. Then you got the rest of 1990 right over here. I run
I
out of room, so I'm
100%
kind of
love
like,
seeing Toys R Us price tags still on figures. Yes, I do too. I love the
yes.
price tags.
Walmart, Toys R Us. There's a Toys R Us sticker for you. There's another Toys R Us sticker for you. And then I move on to Deke season two. Actually, it's season one and season two. They kind of did have some of these guys, but these, and there's the best figure ever right here. There you
You know,
go.
I know a guy that's the real life Crimson Guard Immortal.
Do you
Yeah, I do
really?
too.
I do,
Me
Huh.
yeah.
too. I've met him several times in person.
No kidding.
He's kind of a putz, but okay.
But he goes to the shows and he dresses up. What a weirdo. That's
You
just
should
wacky.
dress up in January. That would be dope.
You
That's
know,
the craziest thing I've ever heard.
I think I met him one time and his gun melted.
Oh God, that's terrible. So then we got the Bats 2, one of the other best figures ever made. Got Tracker,
I really liked
Sci-Fi.
Tracker, but I didn't care for that Cobra Commander very much.
I know he's kind of like a hit or miss if someone wants him or not. Um, he briefly showed up in the comic book and he never was animated. So go figure. But yeah, these are the rest of season 2 of Deke. I do have some of the ninjas, just a few. I got Slice. I would like to get a dice eventually. It's just a matter of, being in the right place at the right time. I got a Storm Shadow right here.
I
That
think
was
I have
actually
a
one of
dice.
my Storm Shadows when I was a kid.
I'm pretty sure that I have a dice if you're interested in it, and it's
Yeah,
carded.
yeah. And this is Red Star. They're both very, very nice. So Red Star, in the first wave, they accidentally made him a Cobra. Accidentally.
So Cobra Emperor, these figures are AFA graded. Those are sealed in acrylic
Yep.
protective cases with a grade from AFA.
That's right. So all of these are sealed. They have what's called a red label. So you got a red label on
I would
there.
be ripping everything out of the packaging.
I agree with that. I think you should. It would be a great idea with no consequences whatsoever.
Have you ever opened a vintage figure like that in in
Yeah, when I
modern
was
times?
when I was 10, 11, and 12 years old, I was opening them all the time.
No, I mean as an adult. Have you
Yes.
opened a
Yes, I
vintage
have.
figure?
Yes, I have. Yes.
I've got a
So if the package is kind of beat to hell, if the package is not doing so hot, then yeah, it's perfectly fine to open them up. I've opened up. I have an ambush that's so hard to find with all the web gear and the camouflage and all that that I had one that was beat to hell and I just opened it. Um, if a chunk of the card is missing because someone cuts the flag point or the proof of purchase right out of it, at that point just open it. It's okay. I bought a road pig at a show one time where the bubble was ripped off with the Sonic pack, and I just opened it because it's like, all right, you buy it for cheap money because it's really damaged. I've built a couple vehicles that were like open box sealed contents, and the box wasn't in great shape. It was moldy or crushed or beat to hell.
I built a sealed asp one time.
Hmm.
It was I
Yeah,
think
that's
it was a
fine.
sealed mail away asp.
Mm. And then I got a couple Sonic fighters, not a lot. I got my Lamprey, my Viper over here.
I
This
also
one over
opened
here
a
is really
sealed
common. No one
1985.
really, no one really cares about that one right there.
The
So
roadblock,
Yeah,
the one
that
that's gonna
piece of
shoot you in
junk.
the eye.
the one that
That'll
shoots you
shoot
in
you
the
in the
eye,
eye,
yeah, it'll shoot
kid.
your eye out, man. Yeah, but no one really gives a hoot about that
You
one.
got to
So
put
we
your
just
eye
move
out,
on.
kid.
You put your eye out.
Here.
Got my
Wah,
rapid
wah,
fire with
wah.
VHS tape.
I liked that rapid fire figure. That was cool.
It's cool stuff, yeah. Got the Eco Warriors over here. Sonic Fighters. I have four of the Sonic Fighters from Series 2 because I do like them. I had them when I was a kid. Well, I mean, I had all of them when I was a kid, but I like these a lot too. Only one vehicle for the Sonic Fighters line. That would be the Ford America right there.
Fort America was a cool piece, man.
Yep. So much. And then we got it took me forever and a day to get that sealed Avalanche. It took so long, but I did
I
manage to
actually
find
loved
one.
playing with the Avalanche. The Avalanche, I thought that was such a cool vehicle.
It is. Interesting story about that one. So that was purchased for a kid that was, I think, about my age, your age, he was a little bit older than us, right? So the grandpa purchased it for the kid in what would have been probably September of 1990. but then forgot to give it to him, and it just went into a garage in a hiding space and never got wrapped. And I want to say probably around 2022, he died, and his daughter was going through it, and it would have been her son that would have gotten it, and she just sold it to me. And she says this is the only GI Joe item he had, and really concluded that it was meant for her son, but he never got it. So because he forgot
Wow.
about it, I guess.
Wow.
So got some gliders, Greater Skymate. I got the Vietnam 3 pack right there. Here's an example of graded in the bag. So AFA graded this one in the bag, that Deep Six, and that counts as the green label.
Have you seen anything out in the world? Because you're very worldly and you travel a lot. Have you seen anything that's something that is very rare that you don't see anywhere graded, like maybe the gliders from the 80s, mint graded versions, something? Because you know a lot more about these type of things, Jason, than most people. What have you seen
Yes.
that's hardly very rare?
The rarest thing I've ever seen graded and sealed would have been the Sears MSV of Canada, which was a black vamp with with I believe it's a missile system attached to it, also in complete black. That's the rarest thing I've ever seen sealed ever. There's one in the world,
Wow.
in the entire world. So that
Was
doesn't
it a
get rarer than
Hasbro piece?
that.
I'm sorry, Jason. What was that? Was it a Hasbro piece or?
Yeah, so Sears of Canada, well, Hasbro of Canada, right? A Sears exclusive, the MSV.
Yeah.
Andrew Henderson actually did his own take on it with the MSV2 that I took part in.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's actually a chromed out van. So he did the same, he did that vehicle but in chrome. Very nice. I designed a challenge coin for that too. Fun times. But this is the rest of Deke season 1 and 2. Season 1 is the first 3 shelves. So you got your Rage. It took me two tries to get one of these to get an 85. I got an 80 before that. But you got your Dominator, the Hammer. That's very, very hard to find sealed. Anything from 1990 is mostly hard to find sealed, both figures and vehicles. Got your attack cruiser. Sometimes what I do to save spaces, I'll put a figure that's featured predominantly on the package to the left of it. So like the Range Viper gets here, Undertow gets to go over here, Pathfinder gets to go with that, Dusty
I
gets to
always
go
thought that
with
it was
that.
weird that Undertow was on that package.
Yeah, well, they only had 2 Iron Grenadiers that year. That was the reason why. They
Oh,
had Metalhead and they had Undertow. So they could have taken an Annihilator or a Target from 1989, right, and stuck him in the gunner's seat, but they decided to just go with, oh, well, we have 1 Iron Grenadier. I know he's a diver, but just take his mask off, stick him in the gunner's seat, and then we'll put Metalhead right there. Yeah. So
Are there
I
any
got
packages that really speak to you that are vintage packages? I like a lot of the Japanese. I think it's the Japanese GI Joe packages that are I think are beautiful
so
packages.
real quick here before you keep that thought. Shane Shooter is asking if your kids don't care about action figures, what do you want done with them after we pass on? So of the three of
uh
us, I'm the only one with kids, and I
mm,
want my wife to have a giant bonfire and live stream it on YouTube,
yes.
burning
Well, we've
all
discussed it.
like
My wife said that she's
burn
going to
all.
put them into a gigantic pond, a mud pond, and then put them out into the road with cars driving them over and over,
Yes,
and
destroy
then
all of
yeah, and then burn them. Right, right. But
it
seriously,
because it's worthless,
no,
right? It's
no,
worthless plastic.
right. It's worthless. Yeah. So what I would actually do now to speak seriously about it is there will come a point where I might lose interest in GI Joe. It just might happen. I know it sounds very unlikely. It does. But there might come a point where I just think it's time to move on from it. And what I would do is I'd probably just auction it. I might just do Facebook auction. I don't know if that's going to be a thing in the years to come, but some of these things I can put up at auction at Hakes or LCG and pay, percentage commissions to do so and premiums to do so. Although they do bring some very high-end buyers that don't really care about dollars as much. But then I have a lot of stuff in here, as you can see. So this room over here, I'm showing you all the sealed stuff. So here's an example of what we got. So we got Operation Dragonfire, which is the opening of Deke, Cobra, right, including Scoop as a Crimson Guard. And then we got Operation Dragonfire, but the G.I. Joes, the good guys, mostly Slaughters, Marauders. And then we got Deke Season 1, all the G.I. Joes, all the good guys. And then we got Sonic Fighters, a Hammer, the Locust. And then we got Deke Season 1, but for Cobra. Predominantly the Season 1 Cobras that are all very nice and complete with a Hammerhead. That was my Hammerhead when I was a kid, too. And my hammer. That was also mine. And then if we go all the way over here, we have the Cobras from mostly Season 1, Joes from, Season 1 into Season 2. You got some Series 2 Deke, Season 2, 1991, 92. A lot of that. Put a Toxo Lab over here. Yeah. I got
We are
that
coming
Toxo
up
Viper.
on
Is
the
very
end of
gnarly.
our time for today.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, we managed to do, I would say, about two-thirds of my collection, so that's a decent chunk of it.
Well, man, if you want to come back and go through some more of it and share some stories with us and let everyone take a look at this stuff, we'd love to have you.
Someday, yeah.
It's really
That'd
been
be
a
a fun
pleasure
time.
having someone that's very knowledgeable about that sort of aspect of the brand. There's so
Why,
many different
thank you.
aspects of this brand, and it's hard to be an expert on everything. I do not consider myself an expert on grading at all. I always go to you when I need that.
I just enjoy seeing your beautifully curated collection.
Yeah, all my Dino Hunter sets,
Yeah.
Dragon Fortresses, Toxo Labs, and all that great stuff. I also like Transformers, not as much as G.I. Joe, but I do have a few of them. The Masterpiece editions scale with G.I. Joe, so I have picked up some of those over the years that I like to display with them. I have an Optimus Prime, it's like a whole foot tall, for example. He scales with them. So cool.
Very
Awesome.
cool. Thanks again.
Awesome.
All right.
You
Thanks
got
to
it.
everybody that came in, watched the show. Hopefully, some people get to catch us on the playback and see the awesome collection of Mr. Jason Packard. And we will see you again next Sunday.
Thanks everybody in the chat. Appreciate it.
Yo, Joe.